Let's see. Here we are. Live playing X Ghost. Let me spread the word a bit. There we go. So here we are. This is X Ghost. I'll just warm up a bit and then I'll get to the daily challenge and see if we today can beat Garnemar. Yeah, let's just wait for at least some people to join and watch. I will not think about this too much now. And let's see. Okay, so we have one viewer. That means I think we're good to go. And I will end this round. So let's go. Here we are. This is X Ghost, a game still in development, made by Tomasz Kaye, a good friend of mine, and he allows me to join the beta. So we're playing a version that's not out yet. There is a demo on Steam which allows you to play a lot of this, but not the daily challenge, which I am gonna try today. For the daily challenge, you can see the leaderboards, where I can see that today Thomas already had a go. Thomas, aka Bitbutter, and he set a very decent score, so that's going to be interesting. And let's see if I can manage. I will just jump straight in. Here we go. And the first thing we get to see is what our specials are for today, which is this rotator thing and the magnet. Not the ones that are most suitable for setting a high score, but let's see. So our goal is not only to get the high score, but I just want to beat Garnemar, which hopefully you will see later on in the stream. But let's start with the basics. Here we are in the bottom. Here we see X Ghost, our powerful hero, quite iconic, if I may say so. And we have this ever continuing stream of enemies approaching us, which we try to prevent from happening. And I have some tools available to me that allow me to make changes to the layout of this group of enemies and also take out some of them. And in order to do so, without me explaining too much of what every card does, my first main goal is to arrange these as much as possible into groups of the same type of enemy. And let's have a look. So what do we have here? We have this lonely skull in the middle, some devils. There's a lot of green, which for me indicates we're probably gonna try and get those connected soon. Don't see any very useful strategies here. I'll use the skull here to connect those different groups, which already looks a bit better. I might also, so this one is a bit in the way, but there's not a really pleasant strategy for me to do here. Let's see. I'll move these together. So there's a bigger group of green, what are the green ones called? Gulls. Um, but then from here it gets a bit muddy. I'd say let's not overthink it. Let's just create some space on the right side. With that, we finish the turn and all enemies approach 1 grid space closer towards me. This is already looking a bit scary, and but now I have some good cards to work with, especially this one, which allows you to swap whole groups of enemy types, which should allow for the creation of some bigger groups here. But to be honest, it's not looking so great. I'll change these so that they become green. So now already we're creating a bigger group of green. And then what's next? This one is clearly in the way, which I can get rid of it using this X. And then this one. Okay, so I will get rid of this lonely skull. I could get rid of bigger groups, of larger groups, but I'm getting way more points for destroying huge groups of enemies. So I tend to postpone that as long as I can. So I am going to move these to the side so that there's a bit of room for me to move them upwards. Let's see, next step. Getting a bit tricky already, but the next set of cards is looking good. So what we work with here is also quite fine. There's a few cards that allow me to move stuff upwards, which upwards is always safer. I probably want to go for at least getting these reds up there. Still a bit tricky because they're not so nicely connected. I'm going to do it like this. Then I have a chance now to move these to the side and slightly up. So now we're creating already a nicer configuration. It's starting to look a bit tidy, but still quite some work to do. Let's see. Do I want to use this here? No. No, I don't. So in the next turn, I can swap things around here. So I am creating a larger group of greens, but ideally, there's one more gal here, which I can make happen. Let's make that happen. I'm moving this one to the side. Then we're off to the next turn. So this also means I have to do something right now, because if I don't get rid of these green ones, the next turn it's game over. I have an X, so I can just get rid of them, but I would like to get rid of them in a larger group. So there's a few things I can do. I could move these closer to me, creating one big green group, which that looks tempting. I'm not going to think about that too much. Then I can swap these around. So there's a huge red group. Yeah, that looks a lot better. And I have no other choice than delete. So that was the first group destroyed. It wasn't huge, but we created some space, and there's also there's a lot of these skulls now, which I can create into a proper group. I have some tools to move these upwards, fortunately, because I will have to do that. I'd say, let's see, this one is not. What? Do I want to move that? Let's see. think I'm gonna. This is a bit slow in a way, but I'm just gonna move this one out of the way so that I can move this one upwards. Though, no, let's start with this, and then this. So we have some space to breathe. It's looking fine. Yeah, so X Ghost is still in development. I'm already enjoying it a lot. I'm not saying that because Thomas is a good friend of mine, but I have been going back to this game quite often already. And there's still changes happening, new weapons being introduced, or power ups being changed into something else. And yeah, it already plays very well, I have to say. I really enjoy it. So, but that's enough of that. I'm gonna just take this one out because we're clearly going towards a green and skull pattern and don't want any of those red devils in between. Let's see. So in these cards and in the next round, there's not one of these actions that allows me to swap huge groups of enemies, which is a shame because those are always very powerful. So that means I will have to do some slower sorting, but it's not looking bad, especially if I can get these green ones here to become skulls, then this whole group will be connected, and that's already looking quite promising. I will, let's see. Let's join, let these join each other, and not so much that I want to do there. I'll make some space there. Maybe already move these up a bit. I should have maybe moved those, but I can do that next round as well. So here we have the option to use our axe and get rid of a few. It's still not very urgent. We have 2 more rows, 2 more steps to go, and the next turn will give me one of these swappers, but it won't give me an axe. So I need to be a bit careful, but it's still looking relatively safe. Let's see, what do we want to do here? I'll just take out this one. Maybe use this magnet only for this only green one, but this connects a nice group there. Then we have some here that are a bit off. I can move this group in one so that at least the green ones align. These are still not connected. I could have fixed that, but ooh, there we go. Garnemar is near. Which is actually, it sounds like horrible news, but we want Garnemar. We want to defeat Garnemar, and it's not an easy thing, especially not with the special powers that we have today. But I'm confident that I can manage. So here's a choice to make. Either I could swap this group of Gals with the skulls here, which creates a huge group of skulls altogether. Here I could also swap out these. It's also not bad, but not. I'm gonna do this. I think it's my best option. Yeah, okay. So this is looking pretty good, but I have these here that I would also love to turn into skulls. I think this would help move all of them upwards. I think they will all still be connected, and it buys me a bit of time. Almost. Well, I can fix that. Look, there we go. Still a huge, nice group of skulls, and some possibilities of moving these upwards soon. Now I have to be a bit careful because in the next round I don't get any. I don't get anything that allows me to get rid of the groups. I have several tools to move things upwards, but that won't be so straightforward. So that means that either now I have to use this one, which is a bit of a shame. Um, cool. I get my thank you, Rowdy Rebel. In case I didn't know, you're not streaming in any category on Twitch. Um, thank you for letting me know. This is my first time streaming on Twitch, as you will notice. So that is something I will need to fix, but I will fix it for the next time. Thank you. So I'm in not in any category. Well, that makes sense. Um, that's a good lesson. Let's see. What can I do here? Hmm. I really don't want to get rid of them. And I think I can postpone this decision a bit. I can get rid of these. And now I do need to be careful. But there is some space here. I can move it sidewards in the next turn and upwards a bit. So I think I'm still fine. Um, hmm. Yeah. Let's move some other stuff out of the way, which isn't very useful, but it helps a bit. Oh, so now things are tricky. And I need to solve this issue because if I don't, it's game over. And I can move all of these to the side. Ooh, that does actually not solve my problem. Wait, can I rotate things cleverly? I can. I already got myself into trouble here. So I have this one, which is useful for moving things upwards. But to do so, these need to be gone first, which I can do, but it's a bit complicated because if I use these, they won't move because they're stuck here, this group. So can I rotate this in a smart way? I mean, I can. Okay, I will change the direction here. Okay. It's not really what I was hoping to achieve. I can move these out of the way, move all of this upwards, and that buys me some time. But the unfortunate thing is, it did not buy me. I did not get me larger groups. I still didn't get one of these swappy thingies. So I think, unfortunately, there's no other way. I mean, I could still postpone it one more round, but that's too tricky. So I need to get rid of these. Before I do so, can I get them into a larger group? No, not really. And I'm not gonna spend too much time on that, which, well, we're not off to the best start. Let's put it like that. We need larger groups. So let's see. Still no obvious choices. I'm just gonna move these up, get them out of the way, and actually the same here. Just slowly creating some space. So here we have our swap thing. Now, unfortunately, we don't have the nicest position for that. I could swap these so that we are creating a larger red group. So before I do so, I will this one towards the group so that they're connected at least. Yeah, not too bad. Moving those out of the way. Well, this is nice. We have another swap. And we could get rid of some other ones. So there's a lot of skulls. I could also turn all of these red. But then I'm left with a few strange things here. So swap the whole thing, this is actually a nice one. It doesn't change the size of the group so much, but now there's a large red group and a large skull group, nicely connected. I will just get rid of these. They're a bit in the way. Doesn't bring me a lot of points, but that's very fine. And slowly connecting them. So let's see. Next round, I will have to get rid of the skulls probably. Unfortunately, still not as nice as I would like them to be arranged. But that's okay. Those go there. This lonely skull here. Can I do something smart? Maybe I can. I will do a very subtle rotate so the greens are connected. Did manage to disconnect those, so maybe not the smartest move. And let's get those together. So it seems there's, unfortunately, I have to get rid of the skulls again. I will align this one with wow, that's clean, and these move up a bit. So where do we go from here? There's Garnemar. Oh, look. Garnemar entered the playing field. Yeah, so the way to beat Garnemar is... I'll show that when he's a bit more visible. Let's see what we can arrange here. It's not super necessary. Actually, so we want to surround Garnemar by the same type of enemies, which wouldn't be weird to try that with the devils. Just moving this one, creating some space. There's no huge gains that I can make here, so I'm just slowly organizing the groups. Okay, this is quite nice. I can already get Garnemar sort of in a position where he's surrounded by quite some devils. Not too bad. Just to be sure, like, I will change all of these to be green in the next turn, but that's actually a turn too late. So I need to be, unfortunately, I think I need to get rid of either these or this whole bunch, which is a bit silly, but it buys me some time. I think I need to do that. And then move these to the side. these down a bit and these there. So now at least I have a lot of time to work on organizing Garnemar in a position where he's vulnerable. Hmm. How do we go about that? This is not so evident yet. Um, I will move him closer to the center. And I would like to get these up. And of course use this one. This is not actually really what I'm going for. Let's swap these around. That it's a bit better. It's hopeless. No, it's not hopeless, Garnemar. Let's just talk about this first. Hmm. What can we do? I'll do this. I will get rid of these. I'll move these to the side and then move all of them up. And now Garnemar is already surrounded by 3 of the same enemies, which means we're getting closer, and we're even getting so close that we can make him fully surrounded, which means that in the next turn we can use the skull, the axe on Garnemar, and it will do 1 damage. We need to do a lot more damage though, but that's a good first step. Let's see, can we make other things look a bit better here? Cannot. So also along with Garnemar we have these robots, which are annoying because we can't directly get rid of them, but we'll take care of them at some point. I just want to move this up a bit. Okay, and now we will do what we have to do. I'm sorry. These will need to go soon, and that's already getting a bit... It will be a bit problematic, but we'll manage. In the next round we can still postpone. We have enough tools to push them upwards, and I think that means we're just going to try and get Garnemar surrounded by devils, which is looking pretty good. Okay, let's see. So here, this looks a bit scary, but I can at least move all of these up 1, and then these. So we buy ourselves another round. That might not be quick enough to do something really smart here. Let's see, I'll turn them into devils. And now it would be great if we could surround Garnemar. I don't really see an obvious way. I think I'll have to just get rid of the red ones here. Not ideal. I can get rid of a larger group, but no. I'll do it like this. Let's see if these could turn red, or these could turn red. Let's do it like this. And on we go. Okay, 1,000 points. It's still far off from the 8,000 that Bitbutter scored today, so there's a lot of work to do. And this is quite fine. I can move these. With that surrounding Garnemar, I could get rid of this large group in the next round. Before we do so, is there something? That's... oh, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. Can make a slightly bigger group, which is all fine. Just connecting the skulls there, and that means it's time for another hit. So slowly we see Garnemar revealing his true self, and things looking quite fine for maybe having a chance at defeating him. Though I have to say we're not doing so great when we look at the score. So it is what it is. We didn't really get huge groups. Maybe we'll get lucky. I'm gonna play a bit faster and see where that gets us. Okay, so Garnemar needs to be surrounded by enemies, not on top of them. So we could use this rotator to sort of get him slightly in between there. It's already a bit better. Not so much else I want to do here. Create some space. What do we do? Don't really like it so much. And next turn can be nice. We can swap all of these into skulls. So we have a reasonable group together, but Garnemar is not surrounded by them, which is far from ideal. We can do this. Slowly move him upwards. Let's and we need to just figure out a way. What do we do with this skull? No? Not bad. And let's swap these. This is looking a lot better. And I will take them out in the next turn. I don't think I can optimize that a lot more. There we go. Anything I want to change? No. There you go. Another hit. Pretty good. Garnemar moves up a few squares. And we have some space to breathe. Let's see. Where do we go? We move stuff upwards. And actually... Let's make some space for Mr. Garnemar to move in there. Snuggle up. I will do so. And this is good. These could all become skulls, or... why not? Let's focus on taking out old Garnemar. I have to not forget these, because otherwise I'm out. So there we go. This is a nice move. And there he is, surrounded by not his friends. Now I have some time, so I don't immediately have to take him out. We'll get more points for waiting a bit. But to be honest, I'm not sure if he needs 2 more hits I guess he needs 2 more hits. 1 more to take out all the all the armor, and then leave his vulnerable self there. Yes. Okay. Wow. This is a good chance. Let's move some stuff. Tidying up a bit. Yeah, these robots definitely need to go somewhere. They're getting a bit annoying. So these go together. Connecting them. I think we're still fine. Can actually create a nice group of robots so that I can swap them back into something more manageable in the next turn. Which, I mean, I need to be a bit careful. This one goes up. These all become green. Ooh, actually, this isn't so great. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Do I have enough tools to... Yeah, I do. Okay, I can postpone getting rid of those green ones for another round. And let me see if I can work on surrounding Garnemar a bit. Not quite. That wasn't the best move, but it is what it is. So moving these up, and then these, and then let's see, how do I... This is smarter. Is it? Ooh. So there we go. We can take out Garnemar and finish the daily. I don't think we'll get enough points to beat Thomas, but fair play. I also don't really want to postpone this much longer. I could, but it's not looking so great, and the specials that we had today are not making my life very easy. So there you go. Yes. Ooh, so that brings us to... I don't think we'll get to the 8,000. Are we? Still counting? Oh, yeah, well, close enough. Close enough. Let's have a look. Current rank 2 out of 102. Yeah, a lot of those 102 are just basically bots. But the one beating me is definitely Thomas. There you go, Bitbutter. Well played. Cool. I'm gonna leave it at that for today, and definitely gonna try this again and make sure that I work on my Twitch settings so that they're properly aligned with what I'm doing. This was fun. See you next time.